Namo Buddhaya. Imagine this. You're standing in line, it's a hot day, and you've been waiting for what seems like an eternity. Your patience is wearing thin, and frustration is bubbling up inside you. We've all been there, right? But what if I told you that mastering patience in moments like these could lead to profound peace in your life? You might think patience is just about keeping your cool, but in Buddhism, it's considered the greatest virtue. Today, we'll explore how to truly practice patience, not just on the surface, but as a transformative force for your inner world. This isn't your average self-help advice. It's about unlocking a deeper understanding of life itself. In Buddhism, patience is more than just gritting your teeth and waiting for things to improve. It's about cultivating a mindset that embraces life's impermanence, accepting the inevitable ups and downs, and ultimately letting go of our need for control. The Buddha himself taught that patience is the highest virtue, a powerful practice that can bring happiness, calmness, and peace. But here's the catch. It's not easy. Why is patience so hard to practice? Let's face it, we all struggle with patience because it's far easier to say, "be patient," than to actually practice it. In the chaotic moments of life, when things go wrong, our patience is truly tested. Whether it's enduring rude behavior from others, dealing with physical discomfort, or facing personal setbacks, maintaining patience feels like a monumental challenge. However, in Buddhism, patience is seen as an essential inner quality that must be actively practiced, not just talked about. It's not enough to read about it or learn it. You must embody it, even in the hardest moments. The Buddha's teachings on patience. So, what exactly is patience, according to the Buddha? The Buddha describes patience as the ability to endure uncomfortable, challenging, or even painful situations without reacting negatively. Think about it. Enduring cold, heat, hunger, thirst, physical pain, and even severe criticism without losing your inner peace. It's an ability that few of us naturally possess, but one that can be cultivated through consistent practice. One of the key teachings on patience comes from a Buddhist sutta that highlights an important concept. When someone abuses, annoys, or argues with you, and you do not respond with anger or retaliation, that is the true essence of patience. Imagine being in the middle of a heated argument, and instead of lashing out, you choose to remain calm and composed. This level of self-control isn't just admirable, it's transformative. Specific example: dealing with criticism. Let me give you a real-life scenario. Suppose you're at work, and a colleague harshly criticizes your efforts on a project. It stings, doesn't it? The immediate reaction for many would be to defend themselves or fire back with a sharp comment. But the Buddha's teachings encourage us to view criticism through the lens of patience. Instead of responding defensively, we can see this moment as a chance to practice tolerance and inner strength. This doesn't mean you allow people to walk all over you. On the contrary, it's about maintaining control over your own emotional responses. By doing so, you're not giving others power over your peace of mind. The misconception of silent patience. Now, let's clear up a common misconception. Some people think patience means silently enduring everything out of fear or helplessness. But the Buddha emphasizes that true patience comes from strength, not fear. It's easy to confuse submission with patience, but the real virtue lies in the understanding that we have the power to choose our reactions. When we choose to respond with patience, it's a conscious decision, not a passive one. As the Buddha said, when a person with strength patiently endures a weaker individual, It is seen as supreme patience. The weaker person must practice patience out of necessity, but the stronger person chooses it out of wisdom. Taming the beast. Within the Buddha often referred to anger as a beast inside us. Think about your last experience with anger. It probably felt wild, uncontrollable, like a storm that took over your mind and body. This beast can easily control our lives if we let it. Practicing patience means taming this beast, not by suppressing it, but by understanding its roots. When we feel anger rise, it's a perfect moment to pause and reflect. What triggered that feeling? Why is it affecting us so deeply? By observing our emotions without immediately reacting, we can take back control. This is where the real challenge of patience lies. Holding back, not out of fear, but out of wisdom and compassion for ourselves and others. Specific example: managing anger in relationships. Take a moment to think about how many arguments in relationships stem from minor frustrations. You get home from work and your partner does something small. Maybe they didn't do the dishes or forgot something important. That frustration builds, and before you know it, you're both arguing over something trivial. But what if, instead of reacting, you took a breath and recognized that anger as fleeting? What if you saw it as an opportunity to practice patience and strengthen your relationship? In the long run, practicing patience in these moments can lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. The 3 marks of existence: a path to patience. The Buddha offered us a profound framework for understanding life's challenges, known as the 3 marks of existence: impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. When you see life through these 3 lenses, patience becomes more attainable. Impermanence, anicca. Everything in life is temporary. When we truly internalize this, it becomes easier to let go of anger, frustration, and impatience. Think of a time when someone said something hurtful to you. How long did those words linger in your mind, replaying over and over again? But here's the thing: those words were impermanent. They no longer exist, and the moment has passed. Once we realize that everything, including negative experiences, is transient, we stop holding on to them. This understanding makes it easier to practice patience because we're not clinging to the past. Suffering, dukkha. Life is full of suffering, and that's just part of the human experience. This may sound grim, but accepting that suffering is inevitable can actually bring peace. Instead of resisting life's challenges, we can embrace them as opportunities to grow. Patience, then, becomes a tool to navigate suffering without being consumed by it. Specific example: coping with loss. Think of someone who has experienced a deep personal loss. Whether it's the death of a loved one or the end of a meaningful relationship, the pain is undeniable. But through patience, we can come to terms with suffering. Rather than running from it or allowing it to define us, we learn to sit with our pain and allow it to pass, knowing that even this will change. Non-self, anatta. Finally, we have the concept of non-self. This is the realization that we are not in control of everything, and many aspects of life are beyond our personal influence. When we understand this, we stop trying to control every situation, and this surrender makes patience easier to practice. Specific example: letting go of control. Imagine you're working on a big project, and everything seems to be going wrong. Deadlines are missed, things fall apart, and you're left feeling powerless. The truth is, you can't control everything. Once you accept this and release the need to micromanage, you'll find that patience naturally follows. It's the freedom that comes from letting go. How to apply patience in everyday life. Now that we've explored the deeper teachings of patience, let's look at how we can apply it in our daily lives. Patience isn't something we practice only in extreme situations. It's a quality we can cultivate in everyday interactions. When someone speaks to you in a rude or dismissive tone, instead of snapping back, take a moment to breathe. Recognize that their words are impermanent and respond with kindness instead. This small act of patience can transform the entire interaction. In difficult situations, whether you're stuck in traffic or facing a challenging work deadline, practice patience by focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Remember, patience doesn't mean inaction. It means approaching challenges with a calm and composed mind. With yourself. Perhaps the most difficult form of patience is with ourselves. We're often our harshest critics, expecting perfection and getting frustrated when we fall short. But the Buddha's teachings remind us to be gentle with ourselves, to allow room for growth and mistakes. Patience with oneself is just as important as patience with others. To summarize, patience is not about suppressing anger or passively enduring hardships. It's about mastering the art of responding wisely to life's challenges. By understanding impermanence, suffering, and non-self, we can cultivate a patience that is grounded in wisdom and compassion. In moments of frustration, remember, every challenge is an opportunity to practice patience. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Patience, as the Buddha said, is the highest virtue, and by practicing it, we bring peace not only to ourselves, but to the world around us. So, the next time life tests your patience, welcome it as a chance to grow. By the end of this video, you'll realize that patience isn't just a skill to develop. It's a way of being that brings lasting inner peace. The journey of patience